Brandon? For 5? 81 and 27? What do you notice right away that they have in common? You could divide them both by? 9. So you could go 9 to 3. Anything further from 9 to 3? 3 to 1? Six, yeah, that's 5. 21 to 49. Well, first of all, if the smaller number's first, the smaller number has to be first when you simplify. So if we think of, I don't know, as a kid for me, these were easy because these were like numbers you'd use in football when you play with your friends in the street. Right, so how many touchdowns would that be with the extra point, of course? 3, and that would be 7. Because they would both have 7 in common. Okay? That's what we're looking for. Okay. 6 through 8. Wait. Thinking maybe Josiah has a question on 8. 8? Circus. $13.79 for one shirt. And then they want to know for 11 shirts. So Josiah, as I look at this, did you set it up this way? Good. So then we look for a relationship, and since it's our own ratio, to get from 1 to 11, we multiply by 11. So I'm going to multiply 13.79 times 11. 9, 7, 3, 1, drop the 0. 9, 7, 3, 1. 9, 16, 11, 5, and 1. How many decimal places? 2. So are you saying you had 15,000? So you went too many places. Okay. 9 through 13, Cal? Oh. So 9, Cal, just read them in order. Yes, no, yes, yes, no. Anything specifically on 9 through 13? Maddie? Which one? 13. 11. 25 and 105 and 5 over 21. I just need to determine if they are proportional or not. Either way, if I go this way, to get from 25 to 5, I have to divide by 5. If I go this way, to get from 105 to 21, I divide by 5. I know that 25 divided by 5 is that, and if I want to double check, whoops, that would also be 21, so therefore it would be a yes. 14 through 23. It's essentially the same thing. 14 through 23. Maddie. 14. 12 over 7 is equal to 36. Okay. So the relationship between existing would be 12 times what is 36? 3. Therefore, if I multiply by 3 on the top, 7 times 3 is 21. They didn't give you any decimals there, did they, for 14 through 23? As far as 1 through 23 go, how many of you had less than 3 wrong? 3 wrong or less? 4? 5 wrong or less? Of those mistakes, how many of you see that they were fixable or maybe careless? Okay. So no major issues on the front, correct? Anything else on the front, Trinity? 15? So 15 was something over 8, and 48 over 24. So Trinity, if you look at this, what do you notice about the ratio that you have? It's the first thing you notice. The bigger number is where? So when I put a number over in the missing spot, if the bigger number is on the top, it's got to be bigger than 8. So if we go toward the variable, 24 to 8 is divided by what? So when I divide 48 by 3, if you don't know what it is, then by all means, you got to do this. And say 16. Is it bigger than the 8? Sure. And twice as big, just like 48 was twice as big as 24. Okay, so all of that stuff will be consistent. That's the nice thing about the proportions. Kishana? Seven? 12 buttons for what? How many phones? No, per phone. So they might not use the number 1, but if they say 12 buttons per phone, they mean 1 phone. And then it says, find the number of buttons on 15 phones. Where did I put phones? On the bottom. So I got to put them on the bottom over here. Now, how do I find the missing number? Look for a relationship to get from 1 to 15 times 15. So if I want the right answer, I've got to multiply the 12 times the 15. Okay? You got it down? Or are you going to remember that? I want to focus on 26, 27, and 28 on the back. We have not gone through these yet. At least this was the part of the lessons that we didn't really do much work on a worksheet with. So I want you to focus extra hard on those few. It's not difficult. It's hardly even challenging. But if you don't know how to set it up, you know, that's more than half the game there. So let's look at the directions. It says use a map scale of 2 inches to 25 miles. Now, those of you planning on using your sheets for the test, I would recommend that you do this right over in the margin where you make it into a fraction form, because they don't give the 2 inches to 25 miles in fraction form. They write it separating it using a colon. If you put it this way, it's going to be a lot easier for you to set everything else up. Okay? Now, number 26, it says we want to use this scale. So for 26, 27, 28, this is the first ratio that we're going to put on. 2 inches and 25 miles. What measurement do they give us for number 26? 3 inches, right? So where am I putting inches, on the top or on the bottom? Good. So now, just like most of this test, you're given a proportion, you're given a missing number, and you have to find out what it is. The first thing we always looked at was a relationship. And is there a relationship between 2 and 3 if I use multiplication or division? Can I simplify 2 over 25? My only option? 25 times 3 divided by 2. So we're going to need a decimal. Would equal 37.5 miles. Okay. 27. going to use this, well, it's 2 inches and 25 miles. And now they give us, what, half inch. Okay. Now, for when I look for a relationship, is there a relationship from 2 to half? Technically, there is. You would have to divide 2 by what to get half? 4. So you could divide 25 by 4 and get it. How many of you did not see that it was divisible by 4? Good. That's fine. My other option is this. Cross multiply and divide. You can keep it in fraction form to multiply. If you do, the rule for multiplying with fractions is everything has to be in fraction form. I could do this. Or, do you know half as a decimal? I could either do it this way, or I can multiply 25 times 0.5. Either way, I'm going to get 12.5 or 12 and a half. It's the same thing. Am I done? No, I just multiplied. Now what I need to do is divide it by 2. If you keep this divided by 2, what's the rule with dividing fractions? Everything has to be in fraction form. So we go back to our 25 over 2, but what flips? The 2 over 1 flips to 1 over 2. 4 goes into 25 6 times, there's 1 left. Decimal-wise, if I had 25 and I divide it by 2, 2 into 12, 6. Into 5, twice. Into 10, that. Is 6 and 25 hundredths the same as 6 and 1/4? Yeah, it's the same thing. It just depends on which way you prefer. If I would have seen the divide by 4 going this way, 25 divided by 4, I mean, that's essentially what we'd be doing anyway. 25 divided by 4 was this, right? We already do it as 6 and 1/4. 25 divided by 4, 6. 2 is 8, and a 20 would be 5. So, I mean, either way, you're going to get it. How about number 28? Can you try number 28? Sure. No relationship, cross multiply. 25 times 5 is 125 divided by 2. 6, 2, 5. Okay? Any questions there? Not so bad. How do you get what? The rest of it, 30 through 34 we did yesterday, 35 to 39 we did yesterday, 40 to 44 we did yesterday, 45 to 48. Any question on 47 or 48? Willie? The answer to 48. Answer to 48 was 67.32. Okay, so remember the setup. Percent over 100 is equal to basically the is over the part over the whole. When we start filling in, 68 is our percent. We put that over 100 every time. Anytime you have the percent and the 68 had the percent, put it over 100. And then of 99, What do you notice about this one just by looking at it? 199. What's the relationship between them? There's no relationship with necessarily multiple. Well, there is, but multiplying or dividing. But are they close to each other as far as value? Really close. So if they're really close, what are you going to notice about the 68 and what's missing? They're also going to be really close. So let's go ahead and cross multiply. 99 times the 68. 72 plus 7, 79. 54 plus 5, 59. 2, 13, 17, 6. Divided by 100 equals 67.32. Right? 67.32, really close to 68. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm going to hand you your test. You're going to have about 20 minutes or so by the time you get rolling on it. You won't finish. Don't plan on finishing. You can use your practice test, use your notes, but here's what I want you to think of. So if you get your test and all of a sudden you're trying to do it, and you're saying, oh, what, you know what, like that 45 through 48 section, I'm still a little foggy on, then either on your practice test or somewhere in your notes, highlight that section so that tomorrow when I say, all right, before I hand your tests back to you, do you have any last-minute questions on how to do any of these sections? You'll look at your notes, you'll look at your practice test, you'll say, oh, I got that highlighted, or a big question mark next to that section. Yeah, can we do one of those again? I'm not going to hand you your test back and then say, are there any questions? Okay? So take note and do what you can today.